this is the other bit of that tealy corduroy. I made this into a little jumper dress at one point. I think I was using a little vintage pattern. It definitely is not one of my nicer pieces. I think I made this when I was away at college. It looks like I made it very sloppily and hastily, and I wasn't really like paying super attention to it, but like the zipper looks halfway decent, so I must have been in college. I kind of want to like finish this because it's not hemmed, and the inside seams aren't finished at all, and the facing isn't finished. It's still raw. But it definitely needs a new zipper because the zipper I put in it is too short. Like it only goes down to like the waist. It ends right here. And that's like where the waist of the dress is. So I definitely need to put a different zipper in it.
Hello friends, it's the Stitches, and today I'm actually going to finish this minty corduroy dress that I've had since college. The biggest issue with it was that the zipper was too short, so that's the first thing that I removed. I realized that even with a longer zipper, the dress would just be a tiny bit too small, so I decided to open up the entire back seam and make a new center back panel. Draping it on my dress form, I decided how wide the panel needed to be and also took advantage of the opportunity to make the skirt a little fuller as well. On first glance, it looks like I have plenty of fabric to fix this dress, but with a fabric that has a strong grain line like corduroy, you really have to pay special attention to which way that grain is going. And to match up my grain lines, I'm going to have to do some piecing. So I split my back panel into a bodice and a skirt. I didn't make my skirt panel the same length as the rest of the skirt, however, because I wanted to shorten the rest of the skirt anyway. So I just fit it to the length that I wanted the final skirt to be. With the new panels installed, I cut the excess length off the skirt hem, so now it's zipper time. I actually realized I made my new panels a little bit too wide, so first I fixed that, and then I pressed my seam and pinned in the zipper. After the zipper is dealt with, the last thing to do is the hem. Since this is a heavy fabric, just turning up the serging and stitching it down won't quite cut it, so I'm going to give it a blind hem. This requires one of those funny stitches you always wondered what the purpose of was, and the R or blind hem foot. Blind hemming really only works if you give your fabric a very thorough press ahead of time, and you absolutely need to use more pins than you usually would to keep your fabric strongly in place. Blind hemming is actually one of my favorite finishing techniques, and it used to be super common in vintage sewing, but with the thin cottons that I usually use, it's not really necessary. Once I iron the hem down into place, the dress is finished. It only took me about 5 or 6 years. This dress looks cute enough on its own, but what really excited me about it when I discovered it was its classic 60s silhouette, which is super common in otome. I think I actually made this out of an old 60s pattern that my grandmother had. To give an example of how I would style this piece, here it is with a blouse from Baby the Stars Shine Bright. I think a super wide, chunky collar looks really great with a piece like this. Another cute piece to add is this silk scarf. You can tie this several ways, but I'm particularly fond of bows. That's all for today's video. I hope everyone has a good day, and I hope everyone feels inspired to finish their own projects. Bye!